Hello, and welcome back to the Hardworking Man Podcast. I'm Heath.
And I'm Rachel. And we are coming to you from outside yet again because it's just so nice outside. And we don't want to be stuck indoors.
Yeah, it is nice out here. It's a little humid, but it's not too hot. I don't like heat. If it never got above 72 degrees, I'd be good.
Now, it did rain a little bit earlier today. I have been up since 6 a.m. for a baseball tournament. And I got home at 10 p.m. last night from an hour-and-a-half drive and had to drive another hour this morning. So the life of travel baseball parents, I am living in that whole full extreme. And it did rain on us today, sprinkled, nothing hard, but enough to need an umbrella. So it is pretty humid.
The worst is when you go to those tournaments and, like, the weather is questionable or not, it's bad, and they're still going to try to get them in because it's all about money. They don't care about the kids. They care about the money. And if they don't get a certain number of games, then they have to refund the money. So they will make you wait and hope that the storm of the century that's above you will just randomly disappear so you can get enough games in so they can keep your money. So then you sit there all day after driving an hour and a half, getting up early, waiting in the car, like, it's just miserable. But this year's been pretty good weather-wise as far as our tournaments have gone. They've landed on good days. We've had some cold ones. We haven't had any canceled or rained out or anything, so that's nice. But they will literally do anything to get these tournaments in to keep your money. They're out there with sponges sopping up water and shop vacs and leaf blowers and towels and whatever they can do to dry the fields and to make it so the kids can play. And it's not for the love of the kids. It's for the love of the dollar.
You know what? In this tournament we went to today, this is the first time we've had it happen this year. They, not only do you pay, each team pays, I don't know, I'm just ballparking,
a good amount.
$500 a team to enter into the tournament, we'll say. And then they were charging a gate fee just to, like, walk in and sit at the field.
And watch your kid play that you paid to play.
Not just like, if it was $5, I would have nothing to say. But they were charging $15 a person to go sit outside and watch.
Well, I'm sure you had really nice box seats or something, right?
Yeah, I had to bring my own chair. Like, at least, like, give me a ride from the parking lot and carry my chair for me. And like,
it's ridiculous. It's a money grab.
That. I was
100%.
Super
They're taking
irritated
money.
by that. And it was funny because another mom on the team, we were laughing because it did end up raining on us Saturday. Yeah, what day is it today? Sunday. But we both were like not expecting that. We didn't know it was coming, and we were a little bummed. We're like, I was just hoping to get a tan today. Like, if I have to sit outside for 2 full games and, do this instead of who knows what else we'd be doing. But we're like, where's the sun? There was no sun. So we're like, at least we can catch a tan if we're going to be out here every single weekend.
But it's crazy, like, how much life has just changed from when I was a kid to now and what's coming next. Like, when I was a kid, you played Little League Baseball. That was about it. You went to the games, you paid $10, $15, you got a shirt. That was your season fee. Right. It didn't cost money to get there. They had a concession stand where there was 50-cent hot dogs, 50-cent pops, whatever.
Like a 6-week
nickel candies.
Season.
Like, you played your games. There was an all-star team with a small tournament, and that was it. Now, literally, it's your round. You got to pay to play in this. You got to pay to play in that. You got to pay to watch like, an outside baseball tournament where they don't provide seating or anything, $15 to get in. Like, that's crazy. You can go to a minor league baseball game for less, and you got to pay more to watch your own kid. Like, when my grandkids are out there playing, what's it going to be?
Because that is the norm now. Like, if your kid plays baseball, you don't just play Little League.
No, if you just play Little League and not, like, travel ball, at least here in our area, in Michigan, where we're at, like, you're not going to make the high school team. Like, they ask you, what travel team are you on? What travel teams are you on? Like,
do you have a pitching coach? Do you have a hitting coach?
Yeah, like, come on, man. Let kids be kids. These kids aren't going to be pro ball players. They aren't going to be collegiate ball players. It's 1 in a million even to play at a college. Like, let the kids have fun. Like, yeah, it's great. If you have a superstar, whatever, there should be, more opportunity for them. There should be elite leagues, and that's what it used to be. But the elite leagues have turned into, I don't like that Johnny doesn't play shortstop every day. I'm going to create my own team. And now there's a team for everybody. You pay the money, and Johnny can play shortstop and start at pitcher, and he doesn't even know what a baseball looks like. Like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
I say travel baseball teams are like churches, though. Well, at least where we grew up.
Oh, they don't stay together long.
No, somebody doesn't agree with something done here, and then they form their whole new church.
Whole new team.
Their whole
go
new team.
And take some kids and find some new kids.
There might have been like one church in town, and now you have 10. Same thing with baseball teams.
That is a great analogy. But
yeah.
Talking about like things changing, like wow. So if you watch Hard Working Man, which I know a lot of you do, not all of you do. Some of you just listen to the podcast. Some of you watch the podcast. But we're doing some more outdoor yard work, lawnmower stuff. Like, my ADHD has taken a turn, and I told Rachel to jump on and ride it because we can get some landscaping done. We can get this flower garden in shape. Like, whatever I'm focused on, I get hyper focused on. And right now, it's yard work, which I have never cared about in my life.
I can vouch for that.
I've had mowers. You know what my goal was? To mow the yard so short that it dies so I don't have to mow it anymore.
Like, the idea that we would water a lawn is hilarious.
But now...
Like, no, you want that sucker to be
now
dead.
I'm learning about, like we live in the country, so we're not going to have a lawn that looks like a putting green or anything like that ever. But I'm like, you know what? I want less weeds. Before, I didn't care if it was weeds or grass. I didn't care. As long as it wasn't mud or dirt, it was fine. And now I'm like, you know what? I want to see what I can do to this yard. Can I get rid of the weeds? Can I make it grass? People care about what color their grass is or what kind it is. I don't know anything about this, but now I'm going to learn, and I'm going to bring you guys along if you watch this channel, and you can learn some of that stuff with me, and you can see me out here, like, not knowing what I'm doing, but learning along the way. Like, I have learned more about zero-turn lawnmowers in the last month than I ever knew you could learn. Right. I didn't know that people would get so mad at you for calling a prosumer lawnmower a commercial mower, which when I bought it, it was called an entry-level commercial mower. I am surprised that I haven't been run off the road by some of these people that are so mad at me for calling that a commercial mower. Like, there are, I guess, groups of people out there that take their mowers and their mowing super serious. But
yeah, we just didn't know that that's a genre of, people.
Yeah, but there's
there.
A ton to learn, and it's cool because I'm learning so much. And
we might become one of those people one day.
So many people know so little like I did that I can just learn some, and then I start talking, and people know less than even I knew. And so I'm like, now I can help educate people and teach people, and when they're going to buy a mower, I can teach them and all that. But I got to thinking, and we were talking about this at work today, and Rachel and I were talking about it, like, none of our parents have ever, to this day, ever owned a zero-turn lawnmower. Her mom and stepdad have owned one riding lawnmower in their life for a couple of years. My dad has owned a few. He bought fixer-uppers, and mostly they were in the backyard, not fixer-upped. So they were just like in
lawn
parts
ornaments.
And pieces. And now they have a Husqvarna just riding lawnmower. My mom has never owned one, but my stepdad, before he passed, he had a couple.
Oh, yeah. He
just a riding lawnmower, too. No, I guess my mom and dad did. When I was a kid, we had one or two, like the little teeny one with just a steering wheel on front, like the cheapest model made. We had that. But it was, my point is, when I was a kid, and when Rachel was a kid, and when we were kids,
when we mowed the lawn, we had a push mower.
If you had a self-propelled mower, you were up there. Like, what do you mean that thing pulls itself? Like, what? Like, I thought I was fancy because my dad had a lawn boy that he picked up off somebody's curb and got running, and it was a lawn boy. Like, that was the pinnacle when I grew up. Like, if you had a lawn boy lawnmower, you made it.
I mean, it wasn't until, not that long ago that we actually got a riding lawnmower, because I remember,
we pushed a half acre.
Yes, when I was pregnant.
With a non-self-propelled mower.
Yeah, you were on orders for the military, and you were, or not orders, you were like in Turkey for 7 weeks, and I had to mow the lawn. Yeah, orders.
No, not orders. You were deployed.
I know.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, never mind. Anyways, I had to mow the lawn because I was living by myself with the 3 kids and pregnant.
We weren't paying no lawn service.
I was 30.
Pay a lawn service. Come on, you don't know where I come from.
I was 8 months pregnant when we moved. So if that tells you how pregnant I was, push mowing because that's what you did. So Zach's going to be 15, so I don't know how many years after that we got a rider, but we have not had ourselves a riding lawnmower.
You know, an old used rider and broke down more than it wasn't. And,
yeah.
But,
so we clearly don't have a lifetime of experience with these machines.
So we were talking at work, like when we were kids, very few people had riding lawnmowers. We thought the neighbor was rich because he had this old riding lawnmower, you know, when we were pushing the lawn. Now, it seems like everyone has a $5,000 or $10,000 riding lawnmower. And I get it, they don't. If you live in the city, you don't. Not everyone's in the same, I guess, point of life or whatever. But where we live, the area we live, almost every yard you drive past, people are out there on a zero turn or a really nice rider mowing the lawn. And that's not how it was when I was a kid.
No, everyone was out push mowing their lawn when we were kids. And now I don't think I ever see anybody.
Then what blew my mind, like with that mower, if you watch Hard Working Man, you know what I'm talking about. But I had a brand new mower that I bought, and I spent $5,000 on it. I thought that's a lot of money for a lawnmower. I drive cars that cost less. Still, to the truck I drive right now, I paid less than that for. So I'm like, that's a big expense. Well, now in the comments, people are like, you expected a $5,000 lawnmower to be good? Like, where have we gotten to where you can buy a $5,000 lawnmower and people are like, yeah, of course it's a piece of junk. You get what you pay for. I'm like, I paid $5,000 for a lawnmower.
Like, that was a lot of money
like that,
for a lawnmower.
It's crazy. And people are like, if you want a good lawnmower, you got to spend over $10,000, and I'm like, this is crazy where we've come. Like, what is it going to be like when our kids are my age mowing the lawn?
Now it's just okay, talk about like what's expected. The cars that high school kids have to drive
they're nicer than what we drive.
Nicer than our cars, and their parents are buying them or leasing. I don't know how they're buying. I don't know how these people are affording to get their teenagers these cars.
I was thinking, I'm like, thinking about from when we were kids to now, I'm like, our kids are probably going to sit there and be like, Mom and Dad still ride around on this machine and mow the lawn. Like, it takes them 45 minutes. Like, I just press this button on my phone and this robot does it. Like, they're so dumb. They ride around on this loud machine. Like, what is it going to be like? Like, it's just crazy how different times are.
Yes.
You know? And it's not just different from now to when we were kids. You know, when our parents they said the same thing. Like, every generation says it. Like, man, I remember when. Like, it's just crazy where life goes.
Well, technology has changed so much. Just the fact how you would watch a movie has exponentially changed in my lifetime.
Rapidly.
Like, I drove by a CVS the other day.
Yeah, they had a Redbox.
There was a Redbox. I go, who has a DVD player to play a Redbox anymore?
We still have a VHS player and a DVD player.
Well, yeah, but it's not like it's hooked up to the TV ready to go. Like, they're sitting off somewhere.
Yeah, I was talking about CDs at work the other day, and some of the guys I work with were like, CDs? Like, you owned CDs? Like... Man, I'm not that old.
We're still you burn a CD to put songs or pictures on. But like in college, do you remember? We had like a floppy disk.
Oh, yeah.
That we stored our papers on.
I remember. I thought we made it when we got a car that had a cassette tape player. And then we got one that when it got to the end, it flipped to the other side.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you didn't have to take the tape out and flip it over. You didn't have to rewind it. It would just automatically, magically flip to the other side of the tape and play.
See, we had like a whole library of VHS movies that had been recorded. I think it would be because we didn't have cable TV. But
cable was another thing. You didn't have cable. I think you
would get like a free, like a week's worth where you could get like HBO or Showtime or any of those.
We never had that.
And then it would be like a trial, or maybe my dad paid for that. I really don't know.
Probably did, so he could watch wrestling.
But then we would record all the movies that played on there onto VHS tapes. So then we would have our library of VHS tapes. And let me tell you, if somebody watched a movie and didn't rewind it back to the beginning, all hell broke loose.
Yeah, we got our VHS tapes from my uncle because they had cable. So then when we'd go over there, we'd get some copies of tapes to bring home and watch.
That's so funny. That's how I still have memories. Like, I know exactly what movies were, recorded together. You watched the 3 in a row because that's what was on there.
Yeah, it's insane, like where we've come, what the world has become, and where it's going. Like, yeah, there's not everything's great, not everyone loves everything, but
how much more can it improve when it has improved exponentially.
Well, I know.
Like, the quality of the film to record the movies is so different now.
When I was in high school, my buddy got a 1 gigabyte hard drive, and it was expensive. And he said it would be impossible to ever fill this up. There's no way you can ever put enough stuff on this hard drive to fill it up. It's a full gigabyte. And now your cell phone that everyone is entitled to, everyone, I don't got a new cell phone. It's something you're supposed to have, like a human right. The government gives them to you if you don't have one. Like, they have 250, 300 gigabytes. Like, what? Like, huh? Like, what is this, man?
Yeah, I have an iPhone 11, and that thing, I can't even buy my favorite phone case because it's too old now. Like, I really have to upgrade my phone in order to get a better case.
It's crazy, man. Like, what people expect and what people think they're entitled to. Like, it just blows my mind. And again, like, depending on where you live and, your area, there's different, everyone's not the same.
No,
I understand.
and where we live is, we're not in a rich, affluent area.
No, we're in the country.
Rural, I would say a lot of blue-collar workers, very middle class, maybe middle upper, depending on your definition of middle.
It would be middle.
Well, yeah, I guess. All just depends.
Which is fading away.
Right.
With grocery bills,
so,
if
we all have all this, then what is, I don't even know what, like, the rich people have.
Yeah, it's just, like, I just don't know. Like, when you just sit and think about it, it blows your mind. Like, just the fact that I got a thermocell sitting here to keep mosquitoes away. Like, when I was a kid, this is what kept mosquitoes away. You swatted at them things. I don't even remember having bug spray,
Yeah, we had bug spray, because I remember it always getting in my mouth when my mom would spray us.
Oh, yeah, maybe eventually. Like, when we'd go camping, we'd get a can of the bug spray. It'd be rusty. My dad would have it saved in the tent so we didn't use it up or whatever, But, yeah, it's just like what we expect to have.
How we grew up as kids and we were perfectly content with. I guess maybe that just shows you. Like, we were content with a lot of it, but we feel like our kids won't be unless we give them all the latest and greatest, what everybody else has.
Social media is one of the worst because everyone looks at what everyone else has and then you think you're supposed to have it. And let's be honest, a lot of social media isn't real or accurate. Like, you see these, oh my gosh, how come we don't get to do that? They're doing this and they're doing that. And, like, a lot of it isn't what it appears, So, like, my daughter will be like, oh, this person has this, and they go and do all this and do all that. Like, that's not, one, normal, and two, probably not crazy accurate. Like, you can make stuff look like what it's not.
Well, just to hear that people literally rent out a jet to take pictures as if they're traveling on a private jet is hilarious to me, that somebody would go through, or rent a car and take pictures with a car. And, like, if you don't know them, you don't know.
Right,
don't know
like, I like the ones when, like, there's a nice car out on the street and people are all getting by it, taking pictures and putting it up like it's theirs, and it's just some car on the street that they saw,
like perception is reality.
Look at my new whip, like that. Come on, man.
You can definitely twist reality to be whatever you want it to be.
But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I don't even know what to think, or I always say I try not to worry about stuff, but
well, what do they say? Comparison is the thief of joy. And you yourself have a hard time seeing all, like, oh, they got this tractor, they got this equipment, like,
yeah, I mean, it is tough, but, like, I have more than I ever imagined I would have had. We've been very blessed. I'm not talking stuff, like family, we have our health, we have a great family, our kids are awesome, like, I can't ask for more. But yeah, it's just like, if you look at what others, it's so easy to get down on yourself. Don't get down on yourself, man. If you put in effort and you work for what you have, and, like, be proud of it, because, I just hope, like, I feel like we've done a little better than our parents, and I hope my kids blow us out of the water. I think that's what a lot of parents hope for, is that your kids you can teach them enough that they do better than you.
Well, and the thing is we'd all be super content if we never exposed ourselves to what others have. Like your mom would always say, I'm fine with everything I have at home. It's just when I go out to the store that I see all these other things and I go, I wish I could buy all this. But you're happy not knowing that exists, where it's just in your face all the time.
I feel like I've talked about this before, but, like, I feel like there's a excuse me. there's a range of, like, human happiness, you know? Like, the average human falls in a range of happiness, and no matter how much money you have or how much, you know, turmoil you have in your life or how much money you don't have or how much stuff you have or don't have or what you've been through, like, I would say the average human is about equally as content. Like, people with more money and more stuff aren't like, oh my gosh, those people have such a great life, they're so much happier than me. Like, no, they're not. And people that I have more stuff or money than, I'm no happier than them. Like, there's a range, and sure, there's outliers, you know, like super happy people and not happy people. We all know those guys. But I think it's just, you know, it's a range and you're in, and I think it's human nature to always strive for more and always, you know, try to do better and try to improve. But I think it's just a, you know, range that you fall in, and wherever you're at, you know, that's where you're going to be. So
I think happiness is a mindset. And you have to choose it. It's not something.
Yeah, mine changes sometimes from day to day.
Just like love. Love is a choice. Love is something you have to choose to do. It's not just a natural thing always.
Sometimes, I mean, you couldn't resist me when we met, you know, like you didn't choose me, like it was chosen for you, you
right.
know.
I didn't have a choice. I was drugged.
You were not. Drugged with love.
Yeah. Oh, too funny. But yeah, no, I think the thing I that makes me unhappy is when I see clean houses on the internet.
See, and it don't matter because
I'm like,
I clean for weeks and
oh,
she
you
still
do
isn't
not.
happy.
I come home from being gone for
Like I put my dishes in the sink for you.
one day. I was
Then she
gone
gets
like
mad.
24 hours and I don't even know. I said my roommates. I don't know what my roommates are doing.
Oh yeah, she calls the kids her roommates now.
Well,
She's
two of
gonna
them
kick
are
them out
adults.
today.
I don't know what else to call them. They're adults. I don't feel that I should be mothering them and wiping their butts and doing their laundry and dishes
do that
for
anymore.
them.
It's been a while.
I feel like they're like, oh, Mom will clean it. Mom will clean it. It's like, hey, you guys can take care of yourselves the whole school year that you don't live with me. Let's step it up and not make Mom do it.
they're tired. They need a break, man.
Are you seriously making excuses for them?
I just know how they feel sometimes. Sometimes you just want someone to take care of you.
Yeah, I'm waiting. When is that going to happen for me?
Oh, I take care of you all the time, girl. I just put gas in your car.
That's how you know
day.
that's a fake statement. He threw girl on the end because he knows it gets me.
No, it's
I don't
the truth.
like that.
She knows it's true. I don't have to tell you what I do. You know what I do. It's a feeling.
No. Fake news. Fake news. But yes, so I call them my roommates because I feel like they are my roommates. They try to take my parking space. I'm sorry, there is one and only spot that I will park in. I think I earned the right. Find a different one.
I don't
And
even have a parking space. I get whatever's left last.
That's on you. I claimed one. If you want one, you got to claim one.
One of Rachel's roommates brought home a box of books the other day because school got out, and it's not a box of different books. It was an entire box of the same book.
Probably 40 of Othello, the
just
Shakespeare
a play book. Like, I'm like,
a thin book that the teacher was done and they're throwing
yeah,
away.
they're old and beat up and tattered. I'm like, what are you doing with those? He goes, they were going to throw them away. I'm like, okay. He goes, I couldn't let him do that. I'm like,
just like his dad.
Why, bud? Like, now we have to throw them. Well, yeah, right. I said, what are we going to do with them? He said, I'm going to get more tomorrow. I said, you are not. Like,
He said they'd be good for starting a fire.
When I saw it, I thought, like, because he's a smart kid and he always is thinking, I'm like, he's got a way to make some money with these books. No. They were going to throw them away. I took them. Like, now they sit on our back porch because they literally sat in our kitchen for like a week.
It's a big old heavy
and I'm
box
like,
of books.
What are you doing with these books? Like, I know. And then they'd sit there and they'd sit there and they'd sit there. And finally, I'm like, get the books out of the kitchen. So then they went out on the back porch and then it rained. So then they got soaked in rain. I'm like, guys, so they're going to go in the trash or recycle or whatever. But I'm like, don't bring home. If you want one to read, knock yourself out. If you have a plan for them and you have done some research into that plan or something, okay, you know what? Go ahead and try. If you fail, that's fine. Failure's, the key to success. But just to bring them home because they were going to throw them away, like, there was a reason, bud. There was a reason they were going to throw them away.
See, and this is also the kid who has ADHD, and all of the things he does are exactly what you do. And it's so funny to me when
you've never seen me bring books home. I don't bring books home.
No, but you've brought other things home that I'm like, what are you going to do with this? I think I could probably find 3 of them sitting on the back patio right now.
I have plans.
He's got plans.
I got
See?
plans. He didn't have a plan.
Yes, he did.
If he had a plan,
No.
that was one thing.
He does the identical things that you do.
No.
And you drive me up the wall, and it drives you up the wall.
No,
so
when I
that's
bring home
so funny
things,
to me.
I have plans
No.
for them. It doesn't always get executed.
They're never executed.
But
You
I
may
have them.
Like
I have them.
Maybe.
I do. I know I do.
I got a garage full of your plans.
Yeah, I know. I need some help. I'll tell you my plans, and you can see if they work.
I'm gonna record a video of your garage and then
No, you can't do
show
that.
everybody so you can be embarrassed.
Just don't show them the kitchen.
Oh yeah, your plan. He told me over Memorial Weekend.
No, let's tell the truth. I said, I got 4 days off.
Let's
Memorial
tell the
Weekend.
truth.
We didn't have any ball tournaments, anything going on. I wanted to rip the kitchen out and start, getting the new cabinets in, getting them placed,
Rip the kitchen out. What do you mean by rip the kitchen out?
Rip the base cabinets out, the old countertop, the old sink, some of the biggest issues, and get the new cabinets in place, get the temporary countertop in place with a new sink, like all this stuff, so we can see how we want it set up. Now it'll be set up. And I said, I want to do, and she's like, are you serious? It's Memorial Weekend. It's our son's 21st birthday, blah, 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 blah. We're not going to do that. Like, why would you pick this weekend to do that? And I'm like, okay, so now my plans, my hopes, my dreams were crushed.
That
and
is not even
they were
true.
put into a ball. And then, like, the second day off, she goes, you've got 4 days off. Why don't we rip this kitchen out? And I'm like, well, 2 of the 4 days are gone now.
Lies.
Like,
it
I
could have
wanted
just literally
to,
been like an hour in your mind. 2 days went by.
because it literally, like, I think what you thought was going to be required of us wasn't required of us, and then you realized we had time.
No,
but
because
then
I said they're not going to hang out. No one was even there yet. I said they're not going to hang out in our kitchen. It's
but
not
I
a big
also
deal.
got this I got a rash over my entire body. I believe I had a sinus infection. I took some amoxicillin, which I've taken before, but I believe I had an allergic reaction to that because my daughter has had the same thing and one of my nephews has had the same thing, and it didn't itch at all. But, like, one morning I got up, and Rachel was like, what are those spots on your back? And I'm like, I don't know. And I had mowed the lawn the day before. And then that day I went out, and I was mowing, and I was weed whipping, and I was doing all outdoor work. It was nice weather, all this. But I've never had reactions to anything.
No, you weren't touching anything. You were, like on a machine the whole time.
So by that night, I come in, and she's like, oh, my gosh, what happened to you?
Yeah,
my face was swollen up. I was covered from head to toe. Just broke out in this rash, and I'm like, I don't know, didn't itch, didn't nothing.
It was bad.
It was terrible. So I was like, well, looks like I'm going to the doctor tomorrow. I go to the doctor sees it, and she's like, let me see your back. And I lifted up my shirt, and she says, oh my gosh, I've never seen anything like this. Like, what happened? I said, I don't know, that's why I'm here. Like,
it was all over his legs.
So yeah, she
everywhere.
didn't know what happened, and I got a steroid shot. I got on steroids. I got on some medicine, and as fast as it came, it went away. But I needed a haircut. I still need a haircut. I'm like, I can't go get a haircut. I'm not going to make somebody touch
Covered
me.
in a gross rash.
Like, it's not infectious. It's not anything.
It just
it's not
really bad.
But I'm like, I
know.
can't make some poor girl cut my hair and be like, oh, I cut this dude's hair. He was covered in this rash. And the doctor's like, oh, you're fine. It's not contagious. I'm like, I'm not going out like this.
Well, we didn't know either if it was just a reaction from the free and clear dryer sheets that
free.
Our daughter brought home from college.
The pure laundry detergent with no dyes or chemicals. That stuff makes me break out.
And Nathan, too.
It's the only thing I've ever found that is a substance that gives me a rash is the purest laundry soap.
Those make Nathan break out. He cannot handle those either.
Like, you can put the scented garbage cheap laundry detergent in and I'm good to go. You put the nice expensive super free and clear, I'm out.
So we weren't sure, because he said he had used those a couple times.
Yeah, my daughter brought some scent-free dryer sheets home.
But I don't know why you use those when you know
because I don't like scent on my clothes, so I thought, and I forget, it's once every few years we get that free and clear laundry soap, and then I'm like, what the heck's happening? But that's only where my clothes touches. This rash went, pow,
and
popped
that
off.
itches you. That itches you really bad
this
when
didn't
that
itch
happens.
at all. It looked like it should have. Thank God it didn't, because I would have probably died.
Yeah, because when Megan had her reaction, it started like that, and it was like a week after taking the amoxicillin, so it wasn't like within a day. Like, she had been taking it for a full 7-8 days, and then
yeah, that's what I was. I was done taking it.
Right, we were at your mom's house, and we saw the spots on her, and she's like, "Oh, I think she's got chicken pox," and I was like, "She doesn't have chicken pox." And then it just started to get worse and worse. And she woke up in the morning, and her face was so swollen. She just had these little chipmunk full cheeks, and I was like, whoa. And I took her in, and he said, yep, I wouldn't give her that again.
So so that's what happened. We were going to do it. We're still going to do it now, but my days off, I get 2 days off or 3 or 4, like it takes breaks. And now I got 3 days off coming up, but I have overtime on 2 of them, so I really only have 1 day off. So we need another span of free time when I'm off work, and we can start this kitchen.
No, see, and I didn't realize what you thought was going to happen. You and I had 2 very different ideas of what we were going to do. So I wasn't so gung-ho.
Mine is still in the planning stage.
Yours
the preparation.
Is not going to happen.
But make it nicer for now.
I will not be involved in your idea, because I think that's just a waste of time.
I don't think it is. It's how my brain works.
It's like painting one wall and then coming back when the next one's prepped. That is a thorough waste of time.
No, because I have to see what I like. If I set it up all permanently and done, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I hate this. I wish this would have been done. It's too late. This is a trial run. It's going to be great. You're going to love it.
Yeah, I've been trial running.
Trust your man.
I do
Why
not.
don't you trust your man?
I do not have any faith or trust in you. You have broken all of that with your false promises.
No, it's
campaign promises.
It's plans that don't always get executed.
No, I do not. You cannot.
We just talked about it. It's a mental thing. It's not anything intentional.
You cannot be trusted. You can't be relied on for
Who
small things.
Who do you think's kitchen idea is going to get done? Mine or Rachel's first?
Mine will. I was told to just do it and hire it out.
No, we won't hire people for that stuff.
Yeah,
no,
I'm going to.
No, we don't.
You know what? We don't have to hire somebody, because I believe we cut somebody's tree up and cleared their driveway for them in exchange to come do this for us.
Yeah, to help for a day. This is a month project.
If they volunteered for a day, they should know that it takes more than a day for cabinets.
We'll see. So we're going to get after that. We're going to get after a bunch of stuff. Our yard's going to be beautiful. I am hyper-focused on, yard work now. And Rachel's like, you've never cared about yard work. I said, girl, you need to take my ADHD, lock onto it, and run with it. And you might have the best landscaped yard you've ever had. Because that's how I roll.
He's never so much as pulled a weed before. So.
But no, I bought this sweet new weed puller tool, and Rachel made fun of me.
Yes.
I was like, I want this weed puller tool.
He showed me it. I said, that's the stupidest thing I've seen.
It's dumb. And I was like, and my hopes were dashed. I was all excited. I thought she's going to love it.
That
and
is
then,
a tool someone who doesn't pull weeds would buy.
And then, I watched some YouTube videos, and I thought to myself, I got to have this. I'm going to prove Rachel wrong. So it showed up in the mail, and she's like, what is that? I said, oh, that's that weed puller. And she says, you bought that? That is such a waste of money. How much was it? I said it was like $40. Oh, my gosh. I said, you spend that much on donuts at the state tennis meet for the team. No, and no, I didn't. I only spent $28. I'm like, but the donuts are gone. This is a Fiskars. It's a lifetime guarantee. We'll have it forever. Mm-mm. She's going to love it. I'm going to get video. She'll probably be using that thing when she thinks I'm asleep, because she ain't going to want to admit that it was a great purchase. I'll get video of it, and I'll show you guys.
I already said, I might be wrong. It might be amazing, but I think it is too big and awkward and clunky to actually be useful where I would use it.
If y'all want to see what it is, you're going to have to tune into Hardworking Man, the YouTube channel, and Hardworking Man, the podcast channel, to listen to us.
If you haven't subscribed to our podcast on YouTube, please do so. We appreciate all of you who tune in every week. And if you're on Spotify, thank you for listening. And you can always leave a comment on Spotify as well. We get those. We just can't answer you back. Where on YouTube, if you comment, we can answer you back.
And you can check out hardworkingmanoutdoors.com, a website that Rachel built. We've got links to some products we use on there. We got information, links to videos, and most importantly, especially with Father's Day coming up, you can get the Hardworking Man hats, shirts, some stickers. So if you have a hardworking man in your life, you're going to want to order fast, because Father's Day is right around the corner.
Father's Day is coming up soon.
I think Rachel's going to get me a brand new lawnmower. That's going to be sweet.
Yeah, I got you a swimsuit last year, so I guess we got to top it.
We got to go up. You always got to try to outkick last year's present. So
yes.
So, hey, we hope everyone has a great week. Thanks for listening. Let us know in the comments, what you think about, like, what's changed that's blown your mind, or, maybe something that happened to you with an allergic reaction or something that you're like, oh, my gosh,
Right.
Let us know in the comments. We love to comment back and forth, and, have a great week. Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye, everyone.